Yizzo. You already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, GMB TV. I mean, tap in, tap out, but you know my slogan. You definitely know what I suggest. I suggest you tap in now. As you can see, we not at the big house. We crossing state lines at all times. Crossing state lines at all times. So big salute. Make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe. Make sure you tapped into the Realest on YouTube. Put them #1 in the chat. If you can hear me clearly, I just like to make sure before I deliver this pure dope straight off the brick into the bottles, you know, that y'all can hear me clearly. So if you can hear me clearly, put a 1 in the chat just so I can know everything is smooth. Salute. Man, you know, out here in Utah, yeah, sliding through Utah on my way to Colorado, you know, crossing state lines at all times, getting to it as we normally do. And my DMs are full. My DMs are overly loaded right now. Yeah, I like how that sounds. It's overly loaded with clips of Max B in an interrogation room talking to the people. Now, first and foremost, I want to say this. This situation with Max B is nasty work. It's nasty work because I know a lot of you New Yorkers, I know how y'all feel about Max. I know y'all love his music. You know, I know y'all really believe that Max B is in a position to save New York City hip hop. And with all these snitch allegations and everything that's coming out, everything that's being exposed is only, you know, kryptonite to your Superman. So, you know, I just wanted to throw that out there. There is no, it is no hate towards Max B. Salute to that man. You know, he was facing 74 years in prison. And he figured out a way to get home early. He figured out a way to come home early. All right. Now, as grown men, now we got to look into the real meat and potatoes of the situation. You know what I'm saying? You don't come home 59 years early from the feds without first sitting down in the interrogation room. You understand what I'm saying? You know, exposing your situation and confirming what the feds and the police and everybody already knows. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about this because it's absolutely nasty work. I listened to the audio and, you know, again, I want to say something else as well, right? Before we go any further into this. AI is really dangerous. AI is really dangerous. This whole thing with the AI is out of control, to where people don't know if shit is real. We don't know if it's fake. We don't know, you know what I'm saying? We don't know if the pictures are real. We don't know if the content is real. And it's always, you know, a pro and a con to what's going on with this AI situation, right? A lot of people in the DM are asking me, yo, GMB, do you believe that this is AI? My answer, absolutely not. You understand? His brother Pooh Sims, that's doing life in prison, he doesn't have access to that type of technology to where he could just create these type of audio to push out there and sell and push to the public. So is AI dangerous? Absolutely. But is this audio AI? I wouldn't bet the bank on it. All right. Now let's get into this again. I did a video about a month ago, and I got a lot of backlash. I got a lot of people in the DM. They really didn't like the fact that I spoke the way I spoke about Max B. But this channel, man, this situation that we got going over here, it ain't no, we not holding no bars, we not holding no punches. We not going to, you know, if you stood down and you stay solid, cool. We can respect that. We can absolutely respect that. But if you know, if you straddle in the fence, we gotta hold you accountable. We gonna hold you accountable, and not only are we gonna hold you accountable, but we're gonna assassinate your character so these youngsters and these children can look at it and see it for exactly what it is. These rappers are actors. All right. Now I wanted to throw that out there before we break this thing down. Right now, salute to China Brim, man. You know, I always talk about YouTube is being compromised. I always talk about what's happening in these YouTube streets. You feel what I'm saying? And it's only going to be a handful of YouTubers that's going to keep it organic, that's going to stay solid. China Brim is one of those dudes. Regardless of what's going on, regardless of how it, the chips are going to fall, China is going to keep it 100. And I watched his video, and he was 100% right. 100% right. I know y'all really was excited about Max B, but we got to explain to these youngsters how you got 76 years in prison and then you come home 59 years early. Yeah, we gotta talk about it. You don't get a pass because you're the wave. Alright? Max B, right? Gunna, right? Charleston White. You could put Max B in the same category with Gunna and Charleston White. Alright? Now, it is what it is. Big salute. I see y'all in here. Hit the like button and all that. We cross the state lines at all times. We headed to Colorado. We headed to Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to me so you ain't got to subscribe to the streets. That's why I go. That's why I show y'all this. That's why I move the way I move. That's why I put it out there the way I put it out there. Subscribe to me so you ain't got to subscribe to the streets. Because the streets ain't going to do nothing but lead you in a position that Max B is in. Now, Max B is rich. Max B got a lot of money. But I always tell you, the man make the money don't make the man. Integrity, morals, those principles come before the dollar. And Max B did bad. He did bad, my G. I know y'all don't want to hear this. I know y'all don't like it. I know what y'all was thinking and what y'all was hoping, but I gotta keep it 100. Max B did bad. That's the only way he was allowed to come home 59 years early. He did bad. He did bad. Max B. Let's break this down, right? What the audio is telling you and what the paperwork is telling you. And what is obvious. It is obvious. This ain't rocket science, my G. This ain't something we gotta do a whole 1090 Jake situation. This ain't that. It's easy math. Okay? Max B went to prison for 76 years, my bad, because he was involved in a robbery that turned homicide. Conspiracy, right? Now, everybody went to jail. Max told where the girl was at. The girl told the whole plot, the whole scheme. Everybody did prison time. Even the young lady, Gina Conway, she went to prison too. She did some time, right? Years later, Max B, great lawyers. He got a lot of money behind him, right? An opportunity to go home early. These situations, technicalities, this, that, and the third, but just like Gunna did, you're gonna have to talk before you leave. Y'all remember Gunna, right? Is YSL a game? Yes, ma'am. Did YSL hurt people? Yes, ma'am. Were you a part of YSL the game? Yes, ma'am. Did YSL sell drugs? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, y'all remember Gunna saying yes, ma'am, right? Before he was able to walk out that courtroom, before he was able to take that plea deal. Gunna said yes, ma'am 40 times. You think Max B didn't have to sit down with them people? You think Max B didn't? So the audio is the same thing that happened to Gunna. We're gonna let you go. We're gonna allow you to start new. We're gonna allow you to go out, make money, be with your family, provide for your family, right? But before you go, let's rehash everything that took place 20 years ago. Let's rehash everything. Do you know Pooh Sims? Yes. Do you know Gina Conway? Yes. Did you send Pooh Sims and Gina Conway over to New Jersey to take the money from the victims? Yes. When they went over there, did they go over there and did they commit a robbery turned homicide? Yes. So if Gunna's a rat, you gotta put Max B in the same category. And I see a lot of y'all, again, salute everybody in the DM, right? Yeah, we crossing state lines at all times. We on our way to Colorado. We doing what grown men do. All right? And if Max B was really righteous, and Max B was really, you know, rehabilitated and on grown man timing, he would say what he did. He would say, listen, man, I had to do what I had to do. And I did whatever I had to do to get back to my family. Even if that means sacrificing my brother. He would keep it 100. But instead, you know, we got to do that. Independent content creators, we got to stand on business. We gonna make sure you're held accountable. We're gonna assassinate the character of these rappers and these actors out here acting like they gangster. Okay? The audio is Max B confirming, because a lot of people in my DM is saying, yo, GMB, they already knew about that situation. Gina Conway already told them that what happened. You know, they already knew. He ain't telling the police nothing they ain't already know. What I'm trying to tell you is this. Gina Conway was a prostitute. She was a drug addict. She was a stripper. She was a whore. She was a streetwalker. When somebody like that tells on you, you get a good lawyer. Your lawyer's going to show the judge and the jury that this witness is not credible. This is not a credible witness. She was high on drugs. She was taking ecstasy. She was a streetwalker. She was a prostitute, and she was a stripper. Your lawyer can get that situation handled. So when they got Max B back in that room, that interrogation room, the first 48, and they had Max B confirm everything that Gina Conway said. He confirmed it. That right there is the sign seal delivery of Pooh Sims never coming home. And come home because Max B went into that interrogation room and Max B confirmed. He confirmed it. It's the same thing with Gunna and Thug. Once Gunna said, yes, ma'am, YSL is a gang. Yes, ma'am, YSL has committed crime. Yes, ma'am, YSL has sold drugs. Once Gunna did that, he confirmed it. They already knew YSL was a gang. They already knew YSL. They already got the evidence. But the confirmation, that's the sign, seal, and delivery right there. Max B did bad. Respectfully. Respectfully. Now, I'm not telling you to not listen to his music. I'm not telling you to, you know, to disrespect him. I'm not saying none of that. But what I am saying is, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. There's no way around it. If you're not going to really do the street business and stand on street politics and all of that, go get a job, man. Subscribe to me so you ain't got to subscribe to the streets. That's what I'm telling you. Subscribe to me so you ain't got to subscribe to the streets. Go get a job. Go start a business. Use your 9 to 5 to fuel your dreams. But don't be out there robbing people, because you got to know something, right? Let's really talk about this. It's two men that died, lost their life. Why y'all defending me isn't? It's two young men that lost their life, my G, because Max B and Pooh Sims was broke. They ain't want to go get a job, so they tried to rob those two young men, and they killed those two young men. So you know, if you ask me, nah, man, you either do the 76 years or you pay with your life. That's my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. You know what I mean? It triggers me, right? You know, because we all grow up in poverty. We all grow up in the hood. We all know those females that'll set you up. They'll rob you, act like they like you, come in the house, leave the side door open. You lose your life. You get killed because a female left the side door open and some dusty ass, you know, some broke dusties came in through the side door. Did you like Pop Smoke and all of that? You know, All these interviews that Max B is doing, Max B ain't said nothing about cooperating with the police. We get all the jewelry, all the ice, all the money, all the lingo, all that New York gangster talk, right? But you ain't being real with you. You ain't telling the truth. You're not really giving your story. Talk about when they pulled you in that dark room and they said, did you send them boys? We got the audio. We got the audio. I mean, what more can we do? What more can you say? We got the audio. We got the receipts. Absolutely nasty work, man. Absolutely nasty work, baby. You know what I'm saying? Pooh Sims and Max B could have been train conductors. When they was waiting for their time to blow up with you know, Jim Jones and Dipset and Bird Gang, they could have went and got jobs. They could have been trash men, making $100,000 a year out there in New York City, you know, picking up trash until they time come, until they opportunity presented themselves. But instead, they went to go rob these two young men, right? They so stupid, they couldn't even find the money, so they killed these young boys and walked out the hotel room with $800. The money hidden somewhere in the room. They can't even find the money. They never found the money. They committed those bodies and committed those murders and never walked away with the real bag. You understand? So that's a whole angle that I heard Choke No Joke speak on that, but I don't hear nobody else talking about that. These dudes got, you know, it's two victims, lost their life. Now let's go a little bit further, right? Federal penitentiary, fed time. When you commit crime in these streets and you do what you're doing outside New York City, it's fed time. Everybody know the feds work, we all know how the game go with the feds. There is no way, bro, you're gonna get 76 years in the feds and come home 59 years early without sitting down and confirming information for the police, for the feds. How y'all think Max B got home? Y'all think Max B just got home and was let free and had a celebration because he was a model citizen and a model inmate? How y'all think Max B got out of there? Y'all think Max B got a call, yo, we about to let you out, congratulations, French Montana's outside waiting for you. Y'all don't understand that Max B had to talk to the police. He had to become a confidential informant. Y'all don't want to believe that. When it's Gunna, y'all know all the rules when it's Gunna. When it's Charleston White, y'all know all the rules when it's Charleston White. But when it's one of y'all favorite rappers, right? When it's one of y'all favorite New York rappers, y'all act like y'all don't know how the game goes. Oh, they already knew it. If they already knew, why would they have to sit down? Because they need you to confirm it. To all the youngsters that's listen to me listen loud and clear. The second you confirm information for the police, you ratted, kid. You told, my G. The moment you confirm information for the police, even if they already know the information, if you confirm it, you told, my G. Go get out the streets, man. Bro, you know how much talking he had to do for them to let him out 59 years early? You know how much of a process that is for that man to be released from prison 59 years early for a crime that involved 2 murders. Yeah, he wasn't there. Yeah, because a lot of people in my DM, yo, Max B wasn't there. He wasn't at the hotel. But we all know it's been confirmed that he made the call. He quarterbacked the play. He was the coach. He told his girl to get with Pooh Sims. He told both of them to go out there and commit a robbery. The robbery turned into a homicide. There ain't no way out of that, baby. Max B did bad. And salute to China Brim for putting that out there, for not, you know, because I know China's from New York City. But that's one of the reasons why I always rock with China. Because good or bad, right? Good or bad, he's just going to stand on what it is. They asked China, was you on medication when you was in the hole, when you was in jail? China didn't lie and say, no, I was never on medication, bro. I never did this. Yeah, he said he was on, China is not going to lie about the situation to benefit New York City. So, and you got to know something, right? I'm not going to stand next to it just because you from Virginia. Yo, homie from Virginia. Nah, homie's a rat. But see, in VA, we not making no excuses for no ratting behavior in Virginia. So it ain't something that I would even have to justify. It's some big rats in VA. Trust me. It's some major players from Virginia, the 757, that we all found out told that ratted. You don't see them walking around Virginia Beach. You don't see them downtown Norfolk. You don't see them at Mount Trashmore. You don't see them at MacArthur Mall. You don't see them outside. But in New York City, it's a different ball game. So I'm not gonna stay long on this, but I wanted to rehash this situation, bro. It's only going to get worse because a grown man is held accountable for his actions. So when you are avoiding accountability as a grown man, it's only going to get worse. First, people said they got the paperwork. That was floating around the internet. You got Max B. He got a couple of shows sold out. Everybody's waiting to hear some music. Everybody's watching the blogs. Everybody's watching the interviews, right? And now all of a sudden, you wake up and we got audio. Go to China Brim channel. We all know 050 the movement. Salute to China. And look at that last video he did talking and speaking about the audio in Max B. He plays the audio. If I was at the big house, I would play the audio right now. The same way they questioned Gunna, the same way they asked Gunna certain questions, they asked Max B those same questions. Do you know Pooh Sims? Yes. Do you know Gina Conway? Yes. Did you send Gina Conway and Pooh Sims out there to rob those people in New York or New Jersey? Did you send them? Did you orchestrate that? Yes. Because for you to be released from the feds, right, you got to admit to whatever they was trying to charge you with. You got to admit to what you was found guilty of. You have to admit it before they release you. Before you get out early, 59 years early, oh yeah. Yeah, the things that you had your lawyer trying to fight, the charges that you was trying to avoid, they're gonna sit you down and they're gonna have you admit to it. Yeah, salute to the chat. Listen, man, you gotta know something, man. I'm a professional. You know what I mean? I'm a professional truck driver. I'm a CDL Class A holder, right? So, everything is gonna be done safely. Everything is gonna be done safety first. So what you got to know is, you see my hands, right? That mean I'm not holding the camera. That mean I'm not touching the cell phone. That mean that I can do without, you know, as long as we not holding the camera, as long as you not holding the camera, you good. Just so you know, right? Everything's done safety first. Sliding through these mountains, man. Look like the Utah Jazz Mountains right there. I wish I could show y'all, but this holster doesn't allow me to flip the camera around. Salute. I see y'all in here. Yeah, we just gonna run it up, man. We ain't doing nothing. Max B did bad. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna make or break me if he's confirmed to be a rat or not. But I'm just saying, like, we gotta really stop. And that's something that really messed up parts of the game that y'all respect. A lot of you jail dudes and you hooligans and thugs, and y'all respect a certain part of the street code, right? A certain part of the game that y'all hold high. You understand? And the fact of the matter is, y'all pick and choose who y'all wanna label as a snitch. Y'all pick and choose. If that's your homie, then you gonna rock with him, if he a tell or not. If he not your homie, you wanna disrespect him and you wanna put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's talking about Bimmy, Zip with the Drip, all these dudes. They were so adamant about Bimmy. They wanted everybody to know that Bimmy was music. In the confidential informant, in the paperwork, Bimmy is music. I mean, a whole year worth of content of you guys exposing Bimmy as being music in the paperwork. But when it come to Max B, it's silence. When it come to Max B, you don't hear nobody talking because everybody, for the most part, has been compromised. These dudes don't want to talk crazy about Max B because they don't want to rub these certain celebrities the wrong way. So you're not going to really hear Zippy come up here and go through the paperwork and do this and do that and really explain to y'all that you don't come home early from the feds without sitting down and confirming information. Hours. I'm sure they got hours interrogation audio of Max B saying yes sir, no sir. Saying yes sir, no sir. Yo, did you know they was going to take the money? Yes sir. Did you send them to go take the money? Yes sir. Did you know they was going to commit murder? No sir. I didn't know they was going to kill the victims. Well, it don't matter if you knew it or not. It don't matter if you knew they was going to do it or you didn't know. As long as you was down with it, as long as you knew about it, as long as you played a part in the robbery turned homicide, they don't just let you walk out of prison for that, especially in a federal penitentiary. Okay, so this is where you separate the real from the fake. This is where you separate the grown men from the little boys. Because the little boys, they not about to really talk about this. They not about to spend 2 hours telling y'all that Max B did bad. You know why? Because Cameron gonna jump in the DM. Yo, don't say that. I don't think you should have said that. How many times we saw Zippy come back on his channel and apologize and take back words and take back stories that he got wrong. Yo, this celebrity jumped in my DM, so I just want to rehash it. I had it wrong. We not doing that over here. We not doing that over here because one thing for sure and two things for certain, it is what it is and it'll be what it's going to be, my G. It's not something, it's not rocket science. You don't come home early from the feds without sitting down with the police. You don't. It's not going to happen. So this what I'm gonna say, right? And I'm always a lot of times I'm always the first to connect the dots. I'm always the first to put 2 and 2 together, make 4, right? Just come out and say you don't care. Just come out and say, as a New Yorker, as a New York citizen, as a New York resident, right? I don't care. No, you know, if he's a rat or not, we gonna rock with Max B. We'll respect that. If he's a rat or not, we gonna just rock with him. We gonna chop it out. We gonna do it. We gonna play music and we gonna lock in. You know, respectfully, I saw Gunna sell out Madison Square Garden 2 nights in a row recently. Y'all said Gunna was a rat. So, you know, at this point, right? It's more about being a grown man standing on grown man business. Being a rat is being a rat. That's something you can live down. That's something that, you know, for the majority of the streets and the majority of the urban community and the majority of this little thing of ours, right? Hip hop, you know, the culture, whatever you want to call it. If you got enough money, people will look past you being a rat. If you got enough influence, people will look past it. And I'm gonna say this, right? It's the same thing with like the Rainbow Coalition. It's the same thing with the Rainbow Coalition. Homosexuality, right? How you think Lil Nas X and Nas did a song together? Why you think Nas did a song with Lil Nas X. Because if you got enough influence, if you got enough clout, if you got enough, you know, backing from the higher ups and the elites, they'll look past you. They'll look past you being a homosexual. They'll look past all of that. They'll look past you being a rat, and they'll accept you. It's harder to stand on grown man business nowadays. You could be a rat, you could be a mook, you could be whatever you want to be, but to be a grown man, to stand on grown man business, that's like the toughest thing to do now. With all these different angles that they take, with all these different tools and, you know, forms of control, right? Nowadays, it's harder to be a real man, a heterosexual grown man that is the head of his household, stands on grown man business, looks you in the eye when he's talking to you, says what he means and means what he said. That's what's hard. You could be a rat, man, and still be. Look at 6ix9ine. I saw 6ix9ine in Brooklyn, New York, walking around the projects because he got money. Lil Nas X and Nas did a song together. Nas didn't come out and say, yo, you got to change your name. You can't use the word Nas. I ain't with that. I don't respect that. My son, he won't even say he's against homosexuality. My son, the general, he won't even admit. And I'm going to talk about that. When I get back to the big house, we're going to do a whole segment on that. You're no longer the general. Just call yourself my son. You ain't the general. You definitely need to take the general and get that off your name. I say all that to say this. If you got money and you got fame and you got fortune, you could be a rat. Max B don't gotta run from what he did. All he gotta do is stand on business and tell the people, yo, I did what I did. That's it. You ain't gotta work. When I was growing up, right, the hardest thing to do was for you to be a homosexual man and be out in the open. Nobody would accept you. Nobody would do music with you. Nobody would hire you. Nobody would accept you. When I was growing up, all the gay men, they was in the closet. When I was growing up, right? When I was growing up, if you was a rat, you couldn't even come back outside. You had to move. When we found out that you was a rat, when we found out that you talked to the police, you had to move out the city. You had to go into protective custody. It was called protective custody. Everything is backwards now. Everything is in reverse. So now, you know, you could be a rat. You could be a famous rat and live and tour and make millions of dollars. You could be an openly homosexual man. You know, you rap in the daytime, you eating dick at night. You could do all that now in the open, and everybody, for the most part, will accept you and protect you and make excuses for you. So the hardest thing now is to be a hetero, just to be a man, bro. To be a man and not be scared to stand on grown man business. Not be scared to say what you feel and say what you mean and mean what you say. Yo, I don't got nothing against them people, but I ain't with none of that. I don't support that. Yeah, do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. But as far as like me supporting that or me, nah, I don't support none of that. My son couldn't even say he don't support that. I don't support two men doing that. I'm not into none of that. But, you know, to each his own. That's the hardest thing. So with all that being said, right? Let's see if the homie Zip, because we already know Zip is going to expose a rat. You know, I felt sorry for Bimmy for about a split second. I felt sorry for Bimmy. But guess what? Your name on the affidavit. You ratty, kid. I learned that from Nasir Jones. I learned that from listening to Nas music when I was a kid. New York City State of Mind. A New York State of Mind Part 2. Nas said, your name's on the Alpha David. You ratted, kid. I didn't even know what an Alpha David was and all that back in the day. Yeah, I didn't even know what an Alpha David was. But I knew if your name was on the Alpha David, you ratted. All right? Is what it is, it'll be what it's gonna be. Let's make sure y'all keep that same energy for Max B. Y'all got Max B walking all around New York City, doing his shopping, doing his shows. And I ain't seen the full segment. Come on, son, the audio is being released. And even if we ain't hear the audio, why are we acting like you gonna walk out the feds 59 years early and they not gonna sit you down and decompress, and they not gonna sit you down and rehash, they not gonna sit you down and have you confirm information. Yeah, that man confirmed that information. Max B told on that man. Nasty work, B. Yeah. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Big salute. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Tap in and tap out. Make sure you do what you're supposed to do when you come in here. Make sure you wipe off your feet. Even though we not at the big house, make sure you wipe off your feet when you step in here. You feel me? And all that. Yeah, and all that. Did you know about it? Yes, ma'am. I told you these rappers is yes, sir, and no, sir whenever that dog fur come around. Yeah, they sit your ass in that interrogation room with that dog fur. You get the smell of that sheepdog and all that golden retriever. Yeah, you get the smell of that golden retriever, and it's yes, sir, and it's no, sir. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yes, sir, and it's no, sir. They don't want to. You're going to say yes, sir, or no, sir, when that dog fur get around you. You're all in the studio, you're smoking weed, you're rapping and tapping, you're spitting and skitting. All in the studio, you're talking about the wave this and the wave that. Did you wave at the feds when you walked out that interrogation room? Was it a wave when you did that? Because we heard the audio. I don't know why. And again, I got a big salute to China Brim, man. You know what I'm saying? Big salute to China Brim. You already know I'm tapped in with 050. I just respect that. A lot of these content creators are compromised. They don't want to rub these celebrities the wrong way. They don't want to get on the bad side of 50 Cent. They don't want nobody. Nah, homie. Ain't no way you walked out the feds without sitting down with them people. Even if we didn't have the audio, even if the audio was not available. Pooh Sims already told us, like, yo, he had the, it's no way, it don't work like that. It don't work like, so everybody in my DM, yo, they already knew about the information. They already knew because the girl told. That's cool, but she was a prostitute. She was a drug addict. A good lawyer could get that thrown out. Yeah, she's not a credible witness. So they need Max B to confirm the information. And the moment you confirm any information for the police, you are officially a rat. You have officially you cooperated with the people. When you confirm, you're supposed to say, I plead the fifth. I don't got nothing to say. Where's my lawyer? That's all you need to say to the police or the feds. For you to walk out the feds early, 59 years early, oh, you're gonna do some talking. You're gonna do some confirmation. You're gonna confirm. Yeah, you're gonna do some. You're gonna do it. You gotta do it. I want to tell you youngsters something. It is what it is. There is no love and no honor for thieves. When y'all get behind that wall, you might want to figure out, because they gonna tell on you. So if you tell first, you might get out. Yeah. Alright? Max B did bad, man. He told on them people. He told on that man. Pooh Sims will never come home. The information that Max B confirmed, the information that Max B said yes sir and no sir to, that's the nail in the coffin. Pooh Sims could never fight his case. And if he does try to fight it, I'm sure Max B will have to come to court and he will have to testify. Alright? Big salute to the chat. Hey, listen. GMB V1 is on the way. Oh yeah, I got some classic music coming for y'all. So be prepared and be ready. It's nothing like it. It's nobody talking like this. It's nobody doing it like this. GMB V1 will be available top of 2026. Alright? So you already know what time it is, man. You already know how I give it up. You already know how I'm putting it down. Tap in, tap out. But you know my slogan. You know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in. Gang.